Hi everyone, welcome to Daily Games Paint Tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to paint the white Phyrexian Praetor Elesh Norn from Magic the Gathering. This is a rather simple paint scheme. I had this mini 3 printed and I fixed any imperfections on it. The visor came out half printed and the body didn't really work, but it's the only one that happened before the guy's printer broke, so now I'll have to paint this. I sculpted the base on this one out of model magic clay. And if you guys remember, I teased her quite a bit ago for a little tutorial, and today is that day for the tutorial. Your patience will be rewarded. So I was informed, spoiler alert here, Elesh Norn dies. So, yeah. So to start, I have undercoated the mini with a contrast white. It'll be Rayphone, and we're going to use Blood Angel's Red to give her a base coat on her fleshy bits. As you can see with the red on the pictures here, and etc. So we're just going to take a nice heaping amount of Blood Angel's Red, because we'll be using a lot of it on this entire mini. So much Blood Angel's Red. And now, get to the body, and we just be careful of all the white areas, because that's going to really mess us up. Might want to use a small brush to what I just did, because the control is not great. Just try to make sure you don't get our white plates, and if you do, it's okay. So you're probably all thinking, this is going to be a lot of red, and yes, so anywhere is going to be red on here except the cloak. I'm going to be painting cloaks separately and differently. It's going to be painted red. And you can refer to a picture of Elesh Norn if you have the card, I have the plushie, etc. So just figure out let you guys give a heads up on that. Alright, with that first coat done, already starting to look very Phyrexian-ish. For the hands, we are just going to paint them all red, and it'll be easier to highlight out the little white bits instead of trying to get in the details and recesses or anything. Yep. Alright, with that step done, we're going to apply a second coat Blood Angel's Red to all the areas of her redness. It's quite simple, as we just add another coat. Build up on the effect. Alright, second coat, she's trying to darken up and glisten a bit more. And we're going to leave that for now. So next up, we're going to be swapping colors here. You just want to make sure you clean out your brush real good, because red and white really contaminate. We don't want any pink on this mini. So first we're going to take some white scar and go over the finger bones on the hands. I almost recommend that you change out your paint water before starting this mini. Alright, so we don't drop the phone. Okay, well, Phyrexian invaders just took out my phone, so we're gonna take our, back where we were, and take our brush, start highlighting the edges or the things on there, painting them per se. Gonna take a lot of it though, so it actually shows through. Really no excess wiping here. Your hands just kind of strike across it almost like a dry brush. Now that done, you see it really gets what we wanted with the hands going on. All like little red recesses that we couldn't quite get with our brush. We're going to go over a second coat of it though, that built the white more and more, make it less red. So this is the time where you take our next step while that dries. Let the contrast paint dry. We are going to take Blood for Blood God. We're going to take Blood for Blood God. If you have contrast medium, I'd mix it in with that, but we're going to mix Blood for Blood God with contrast with the Blood Angel's red. So this will be roughly 2 parts Blood God and 1 part contrast red. Almost making a glistening red shade. And after that's done, cameraman's don't break. After that is done, we take our brush and just go over it again, making it glisten more. And with that, we have a suitably gruesome glisten to Elesh Norn now. If you're probably wondering about the hand pieces, do like the really protruding ones, and maybe in between the finger bones. That's it. Okay, so next up, we're going to paint all her robes with Bacillum Grey to start off. And you will see why here. So, taking the mini here, and just lathering on a nice good color of Bacillum Grey, which is a contrast paint. A speed paint could work too here, or just painting it black, but that would take a while. Alright, that color finished, we are going to move on to the next step, which will be touching up all of the white on the mini. Yes, this is going to take a while. So I recommend you use White Scar. Yeah, this mini's going to undergo some heavy color fixing here. And yes, we're using a lot of colors to kind of mix and clash, so this mini is not for faint of heart for trying. So we're just going to go over all the armor again with White Scar. So next step on the mini, I change it a bit so I take off her base and make it easier, is dry brushing red across the fabric. Kind of rougher. So let me just put it on tripod real quick. Okay, anyway. We're going to start painting our cloth, and for this we're just going to take red and dry brush it across the fabric for the first step. Alright, so with that khorne red done, next up we're going to do a highlight of Mephiston red all over that. That's going to be a highlight, so we're going to take our dry brush again, go digging for my Mephiston red paint, get into it. Take out some of that nice juicy paint. And then just brush in the raised areas for extra detail. Okay, with that highlight done, her robes really start to come together. Now for our lasting, we're going to take Mephiston red and get really into details onto the clothing. Cloth, I should say. Because there's like some spots on her I can't quite reach, like right in the crotch area and a couple other spots. Alright, the highlights brought that out. And there's enough natural shading that it looks good from a distance, and up close, it looks better. Yep. So next up, I'm probably going to be repainting the armor and touching up stuff again. There's going to be a lot of touch up on this mini due to all the color mixing and schemes. So as you can see, if I can zoom in here, the mini's trying to go a bit on the pinker side near her waist area, which makes sense. There's a lot of like little areas in there, but a lot of times it can be cross-contamination on your brush. So that makes it kind of tough when you're painting minis. They're white and red. That's why a lot of people are really impressed when you can successfully pull off a good red and white mini. Because honestly, it's pretty dang hard. Really hard to pull off a good red and white mini. People tend to not realize that. And honestly, I don't really paint on this scale much. She is about 4 inches tall. Just to give you an idea, size. It's about the size like a Funko Pop or something. So she's pretty up there in size. And with her base, that adds an extra inch, so she's like 5 inches tall. Now for my next bit on her, I'm going to touch up behind the visor, which I'll just be like doing little red streaks here. So we'll take our contrast paint once more. Just sort of dab across it. If you look at the cinematic trailers, Elesh Norn's got kind of red stab across. Probably not as protruded as this, but this is contrast, so it's going to mess up big time. It has its uses, in my opinion, but contrast isn't the most phenomenal thing in the world. There's some people who swear by it, and there's some people who swear by Army paint or speed paints, which I haven't had the luxury of trying yet. Just like I haven't had the luxury of having a good air tripod or cameraman for the past couple weeks. Yeah. So next up, we're going to take Artificer White, I think. No, Apothecary White on the contrast range, and shade all the major areas of white, such as the chest plates, arms, and visor. For that shade, after that, we're going to do a dry brush of Praxeti White all over the whole thing. That's armored. And this thing should be very close to being done. I'm going to touch up this little blob on her hand here, and I'm just going to paint that with Abbadon black. It's supposed to be Phyrexian oil. With that done, Elesh Norn is ready to take to the battlefield. This isn't my best mini ever. Honestly, I don't paint too much red and white. That's kind of the problem here. I have not painted very much red and white, and red and white is one of the hardest combinations ever to paint. Because if you paint it too wrong, it'll end up looking like big old miniature supporting breast cancer. That's really annoying. Pink does have its uses, but honestly it's one of the more useless colors on the spectrum. Unless you're playing Zinch, which in that case you're painting pink horrors like they're going out of style. But for the really last details, I'm going to do some touch-up around the armor. More white paint. Some red. Little red highlights. There will be a little clip at the end of this video on the final result. Thanks so much for watching. God bless you all. And hail Phyrexia. Lady visor is not that big. Oh, hey you. Hey, you still at the end of the comment videos. Thanks for watching. Keep watching. Expect more from Phyrexia here in the future. Hail Phyrexia. Hail me. I'm awesome. Just my little mini buddy.